We have commissioned for, mostly Mozart, a work by David Lang, who is a Pulitzer Prize-winning composer. And he is writing a new work for us, and the world premiere will be here, for 1,000 amateur singers, called Public Domain.
This is a piece where I can't honestly say from the very beginning that I know how it's going to turn out. At this point, when we were filming this, I haven't written it yet, so I'm making this up. But there's a fantastic conductor who will be overseeing the whole thing, Simon Halsey. And I think of it as being a very beautiful opportunity to see what it's like to take amateurs, to take singing, which we love, to take all of these incredible, beautiful melodies and organize them in a way which is unusual.
Lincoln Center came to the Loriem Tisch Illumination Fund with a crazy and audacious goal: 1,000 voices from across the city. Our mission is access and opportunity for all New Yorkers, so for us it was a perfect fit.
As with all these great productions, what happened is we had one of those moments, which was, what's the craziest thing we can do? And 5 minutes later we decided to do something like this. And that's how these great things get to be done. It really is, what is the stupidest thing we could do? And here we are. The very first thing is David writes the piece. And then we have a look at it and we work out the logistics of it and how many people we need and how we're going to rehearse them and so on. Once that's done, the second stage is to bring all the conductors together, because there are going to be 21 conductors. And most performing ensembles would tell you one conductor is too many. So 21 down there.
What happens during this piece is that they begin as individuals, they form little groups with each other, they learn how to do things together, and then gradually through the piece they all learn how to do something at the same time. So the coming together of the people is actually part of the piece.
We're going to try for a sign-up of 1,300, 1,400, and we really want 1,000 people out there. And if we get more, well, that's fine.
I really want 1,300.
I heard about the Public Domain through the Village Light Opera Group.
And I signed up even before I knew what I was actually signing up for.
Because who wouldn't want to sing with 1,000 people in New York City?
I don't have experience and I can't read music, so I was like, perfect, absolutely, that's me.
And I said, I'll go to that. And then I said, wait a second, I'm gonna do that. I'm not just gonna go, I'm gonna take part. So here we are.
Our initial introduction to the piece was all these choral conductors together in a room talking through the piece with Simon and David and a group of singers. And we slowly went through, because there's a lot of different components that are spoken and sung, and there's a lot of improv that was incorporated to make sure that the singers have a base to launch from.
At the first rehearsal, we received a packet and it looked very, very intense and very complicated.
The first day I came, I was not expecting for this type of rehearsals, but here you whisper the text and you're still in a chorus. It's very different. That's very unique, actually.
They have moments in it where you don't actually sing, you just mouth it, and you can actually feel it through mouthing. And so you get passion without even hearing anything.
People, when they walk into Lincoln Center, are not going to know that they're now a part of a huge united force. And it's that message every time you say our, you are relating to the fact that our is the world around you.
The setup for the piece is that it's almost like a pyramid. So Simon is the conductor, then there's 5 strand leaders, and there's a team of group leaders. And we've got 10 group leaders that are leading their own groups of about 20 people. So there are all these different pods.
I'm a group leader, strand leader, which my responsibility has been to prepare the singing part, the musical portion. So I've taught them the choral sections of the piece.
This is the 3rd rehearsal, I believe, and we're just starting to put together the movement today. So it's really coalescing.
After a long time of many iterations of what the choreographic score would be, I finally have the opportunity to show them the material and to look at it on them. I started by just imagining what it might be like to have 1,000 people move through space. When you gather that many people together, there's already meaning. And after all the logistics and all the complicated planning, it looks really beautiful and really easy. My final thoughts after seeing the first rehearsal with all the movement is I never want to choreograph with less than 1,000 people.
We're getting there. We're all just kind of like, there's still parts where everyone's like, well, am I supposed to be writing above my head, or am I supposed to be making an imaginary box? There's definitely still a lot of tentativeness around that.
Because there's so many elements to this. It's one thing to follow a piece, to read the music and to follow the conductor, but then to actually be tapping your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time, it basically it's challenging.
We're at the time where I come in and I'm now trying to get things faster, slower, more daring, louder, quieter. Just as I'm taking this little break here and talking to you, the stage people are just reminding them of their moves and all the things they have to do, so that after the break we can go into a gymnasium and for the first time ever walk the show properly. So this is a big crunch day.
I'm interested in seeing how having 500 people move at the same time, follow along with a small leader with such a cacophony around us will actually work.
A lot of it isn't really up to me anymore. I've sort of given a lot of options to people. There's a lot of autonomy for the groups, because everyone here is in a group of 200, and each of those groups of 200 are divided up into smaller subgroups. And so the leaders of those subgroups have a huge amount of control.
For simplicity's sake, we'll do his clockwise walking gesture.
Every week we're asking these guys to do it completely differently and under new circumstances. We're constantly saying, turn to page 15, find a B flat, sing it pianissimo, look that way. And even people who are in their 80s and 90s are going, so join a choir and live forever.
So did you see me stop you? I went like that. You have to be watching me. And then, your chord is la, 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 la.
Tonight is a put-together rehearsal. We're doing a work-through of the entire piece, and this is the closest we'll get to having everybody together at the same time, which will only happen on the day of the performance, which is both exciting and a little nerve-wracking, I think, for everybody involved.
Sometimes when we're singing it sounds like noise, honestly. And then there are these few moments that really resonate with me. And you kind of feel this unity while you're singing with a bunch of other people.
I think change can happen within our world if we find the song that resonates with our spirits and sing that song, or at least hum that song, and watch change happen.
I think that's one of the most thrilling things about this, is that it's a new work that there's never been anything like this before.
The public domain to me means that it belongs to all of us.
It makes you think of how alike everybody is. And it makes you focus on not just yourself, but we're all trying to have the same things in life.
Finally, we're here, the day of performance, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how it all turns out. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm just gonna be truthful, it is burning up, but I am not gonna miss the chance to do this. I am not.
I'm overly excited. I think it's really amazing to be a part of a world premiere, and also just the amazing amount of people and just the fueling of all the directors and how there's so much energy. I think it's gonna be really, really exciting.
It's really about people coming together. It's just, we've been working hard, we've been rehearsing hard. You sing in a chorus and you're an immediate best friend of everybody around you, which is just terrific. And I think that's what this is all about.